live. My name is Lucas Tyndall. I am your host. Extremely excited to be here. It is January 3rd, 2023. Yes, it is 2023. Where did that come from? How did that happen? I have no idea. Okay, but it's here. I mean, what are we going to do about it? You going to do something different or no? We're going to be the same? We're going to do something different. Okay, we're going to do something different. All right. So welcome you guys to 2023. I welcome you guys to the show. Glad you guys are here, whether you're watching live or by replay. We want to thank you guys for being fans, followers, supporters of the show. We want to thank you for coming on today to possibly support one of these great guests. We have two amazing women on today. These ladies are dynamic. They are impactful. They are going to talk to us today about health and wellness, inside and out. We're going to talk about what it takes to truly change your life. This is the time of year where people are trying to do that. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share the broadcast, as that is a good idea. If you're watching us on Facebook, especially, it is a great opportunity to share the broadcast, because if you share the broadcast, then other people get to watch it. All right. So I'm excited to have you guys here. Hello to my wonderful wife, Kareem Marie. Thank you so much for joining us. I don't know how she does that, but she's like first always. I love it. Great job, babe. Good. That's support right there, right? I'm fixing something. Did you guys see my microphone get weird? Don't mind that. It's okay. My wife is always first in somehow, even when she's not here. She's not even home, and she's first. I don't even know. She's at track practice or something with our daughter, and she was still first in. Glad you're here. Thank you so much for being here. Hello. Janelle Carpenter, thank you so much for joining us here and sharing. That is my sister, Janelle Carpenter. She's like a sister, like a play cousin, like a sister, always. Amanda Jean Dukes is here. Our producer helps make things happen in the background. She's actually texting me to tell me that something's not right with the picture. And I tried to fix it. It may fix, it may not fix, but we're going to have a great show. It's not even going to matter. All is well, right? Focus on me. Don't look at anything looking weird, okay? All is well, all right? Everything is good. Hello. V Mar Money. Hi, how are you? Is that Mar? That's a young guy. Bill Kaiser. What's up, Bill? How are you, my friend? Hootie. No, hi, Bill. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us here from LinkedIn. I actually work with Bill. We do some great work with a company called CultureWise, and we go work with companies that do some really cool stuff. So Bill is my guy at CultureWise. We do some really cool stuff. So shout out to Bill. He always makes sure things are moving and flowing over there whenever we're doing things there and traveling all over the world. Shout out to my guy, Bill. Christina, my cousin. Hello. How are you? Welcome. Glad you are here. Thank you for always supporting me. She always finds me wherever I'm at, whatever's going on. I thank her so much for being here. To everybody else, share this broadcast, tell somebody about it, tag somebody, text somebody, and say, where are you? What are you doing? Why aren't you here? There's some amazing guests who are going to talk to us about health and wellness. They're going to talk to us about their personal journeys. Even before the show, I was already talking to them about their personal stuff, and it got deep. I mean, I don't know. Listen, you might want to hang around because it was fascinating, okay? They got all kinds of stuff going on that I didn't know. I just asked like 2 questions, and they started confessing. I was like, I don't want to be on trial. I don't want to be telling people what y'all did. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not a witness. I didn't see anything. I didn't hear anything. I don't know what they're talking about, all right? So please don't have me out there having to testify against these wonderful ladies. Sarah Ray, how are you, my friend, Sarah? Sarah, what do I say, Sarah? I'm always like, Sarah, I love you. You're one of my favorite people. Yes, Sarah, you know that, right, Sarah? Just tell me yes, you know that. All right, I'm gonna mess with my picture a little more. Y'all see how I'm doing things? See, I have a green screen, so sometimes the green screen does weird things, right? And so I have to do things to try to adjust the green screen. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But we're gonna have a great show either way. And I'm gonna move my microphone so you don't see that looking funny. Tyler Thatcher, how are you, my friend? So glad you are here. Tyler, what a great young man Tyler is. He's like young old. You know, you ever meet somebody that's like wise and young? You're like, how old are you again? That's Tyler. Tyler is like young old somehow. I don't know how. I don't even ask him how old he is anymore. Or maybe I do, but I'm always like, no, you're not. But he's extremely wise. Love him. Yes, forever thankful for you, Sarah. Good. You know that. You're just one of my favorite people. Sarah, I think you're one of the most loyal people. You're one of those friends that'll like fight for your friends. I'm not saying you out there fighting, right? You don't do that. You don't do that no more, right? You don't do that at all. But I feel like you would if you had to, right, Sarah? I feel like you just look out for people. So I love it. I love it. All right. Okay. All right. So what else is going on? Listen, I want to take a minute. Let's pause for a second. Let's talk about something that happened yesterday. I just want us to reflect briefly. Yesterday, many of you saw, unfortunately, on the game on Monday Night Football, one of the players for the Buffalo Bills, Damar Hamlin, suffered a cardiac arrest on the field. And if you tell me if you saw it, if you've seen the news or you saw it live, what were your first thoughts when you saw that? Okay, and I'm going to tell you my honest thoughts when I saw it. And I had the pleasure of speaking to a former trauma surgeon today. Like, it was the most amazing thing. Like, I spoke to a former trauma surgeon about what he saw and what was happening, what his thoughts were on it. And I should have brought him on here to talk about it, but I didn't work all that out. But nonetheless, I'll share what he shared as well. So, what were your thoughts when you saw, if you saw it or heard about it or saw it live? Let me know in the chat. But so I saw watching football, watching Monday Night Football, basically a playoff game, a game with playoff implications. Maybe it's not a playoff game. It wasn't like the loser wasn't going to make the playoffs, but a fascinating game on last night. Two great teams. First quarter, I'm like, it was one of those nights. I tell my wife, babe, it's a game on. She like, is it the Eagles? I'm like, no, but it's a game I kind of want to watch. She's like, go for it. She's always supportive. I'm an Eagles fan, but I wanted to see the Bengals and the Bills, two great teams. And upon watching the game, early first quarter, Hamlin goes to make a tackle on Higgins, I believe it was, and he wraps him up and kind of rolls over him, and he stands up over him like made the play, and falls backwards, straight back, and falls down and appears to hit his head or something as well. And then, the trainers start to come out as you would assume, and the players start to gather around. And it was just a sad scene. I was watching Monday Night Football almost in tears. Like, literally, I was watching the game thinking, I played football, my son played football, I know so many others that play football. It's a tough sport, but you never expect this. I've seen players down on one knee praying for their teammate because they were worried about a back injury or a spinal injury or a leg fracture or something like that. But to see the look on these guys' face, to see the sudden tears, to see them hugging each other and just struggling, it was beyond that. It wasn't the normal, he's hurt. And it was hard to watch. And so our hearts and prayers go out to that family. And he is still in critical condition right now. It happened in Cincinnati. I'm here in Ohio. Many of you are here in Ohio. It was in Cincinnati, Ohio. So he is in Cincinnati Hospital, I believe. Maybe the University of Cincinnati Hospital. I'm not 100% sure. But that was impactful. So I just want to make sure we think about that family. We're thinking and praying for that family, that we don't not take the moment to reflect on that and understand that we don't have to live in fear. I wouldn't say that anybody out there whose children are playing a sport or you're doing whatever you're doing in life, I don't believe in fear. I don't believe God has given us a spirit of fear. And just because we see something traumatic happen, it doesn't mean now I must change my whole life because now I must fear that thing. That's not true. But it's something for us to just be aware of and be thoughtful about. When I talked to the cardiac surgeon, um, his name was Harry, we spoke earlier, and he said he knew immediately that it was not a head injury, that it was a heart injury, that it was not, it was a cardiac situation. He said the way he fell wasn't like someone who had been knocked out. I thought he hit him and then it's like a boxer getting punched and they try to stand up, but they're wobbling and they fall down. He said the way he fell, they knew immediately it was a cardiac issue. And he said what happened, he said what can happen is the way your heart is beating, if you get hit in your chest hard enough at the right time, he's like, it's like 4 milliseconds. He's like, the chance of it is extremely rare, but if you get hit in your chest at that right moment, it'll stop the rhythm of your heart and your heart will just start to flutter. And so what needed to happen is he needed to have his heart shocked back into rhythm, right? Which is a fascinating thing to understand how electrical we are. Our hearts are an electrical device. Our brains are electrical, right? And that's why energy matters. What energy do you have around you? What kind of people are you hanging around? What is their energy like? Because we are energy beings. You can feel people's energy without them even talking. right? Because we're energy people. We give off energy and we receive energy. So we need to be conscious of who we're exchanging energy with. Everybody you shake hands with, that's why that makes some agreement. Everybody you hug, everybody you touch, everybody you engage with, you're exchanging energy. So if you're exchanging energy with a bunch of people who aren't good for you and you wonder what's happening to your energy, you may be giving your energy to the wrong people. And you're not giving people energy that are giving you energy and creating a flow. So be thoughtful of that because that's happening to a lot of people. But that impact to his chest at that right moment caused his heart to change its rhythm, and they had to bring him back there on the field, which they did. Got him in the ambulance after a long time. They canceled the game. They may do it again, not this week, they said, in the future. But our hearts, thoughts, and prayers go out to the Hamlin family and to all the families of athletes and everyone else. So let's just be thoughtful about that today. I just wanted to make sure we did take a moment to reflect on that. I want to thank some more people who jumped in here today as we continue on with our show. Noella, I see you. Thank you so much for being here. Noella teaches French. If anybody's interested in learning French, she teaches classes online, and it's not like a 4-year program. You can get a little French going soon. Like I know French fries. I had some French toast a couple days ago, I think. I know French press and the French braid. I don't know much else, but she knows French. So shout out to Noella. If you're interested in learning some French, get to know her, connect with her, reach out to her. That's my girl. She can help you out. She can help you out. Shamar, what's going on? Shamar. Aren't you going to be on another show? I said I got to get you on here. I got to get you on here. And then I saw you're going to be on the She Wins show. What are you doing going on other shows, Shamar? Okay, we want to support you, Shamar. Congratulations. You're going to be on She Wins with Andromeda. Shout out to the She Wins Society. I'm a big fan. Ladies getting together in the She Wins Society. Shout out to you. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Let's see. Amanda Dodd. Hello. I hope I said your name right. Right? Did I say that? Is it Dodd? Is it Dodd? Is it Dodd? Absolutely thought it was a joke until he didn't get up. Great point. Right? It was a very odd thing, but when he didn't get up, it was extremely serious. What's going on, Jay? Lovely Jay Rodman is here. So glad you are here. Thank you so much for jumping in and joining on. Her husband was on a podcast earlier, and it was just phenomenal. Shout out to Dr. Anthony Rodman. It was a phenomenal podcast, and it was just phenomenal. Somebody pipe in what that was. It was on. It's on YouTube. Somebody remind me if you put it in the chat. Somebody where they can find that. It was excellent information about how we can change our lives going into the new year. So shout out to her. Shout out to her. All right. So thank you guys for your comments. I see you guys thinking about what went on. Hello, Dr. Bartiet. Do I say it right? I don't know. Dr. Don, what's going on, my man? Dr. Don, how are you? Mr. Chick-fil-A. He's Mr. Chick-fil-A. He's going to remind me why, but he's Mr. Chick-fil-A. He saw me speak at something, and he spoke for years, and he said, do you have an agent or something? I said, no. But, we're going to work that out, right, Don? You know what I mean? Dr. Don, we're going to make it happen, right? Why wouldn't I? Might as well. Things are moving and things are great. What's up, Kyle Jenkins? Glad you're here. Thank you so much. Had to drop by the show to support Amanda P. Wonderful. Thank you for coming to support her. She is going to be on here in just a minute, so stay tuned, everybody. She is about to come on here in just a minute and share her fitness journey and talk to us about how we too can live healthier lives and have healthier lifestyles. Without any further delay, our first guest. We have two guests tonight. The wonderful, lovely Miss Amanda Pagnucco. Look, I said it right, I think, until she gets on and be like, it's Pagnucco. It's Pagnucco, I think. Anyway, we'll have her on in just a second. And then after we talk to her, we're going to have on the lovely Miss Lilly Price, or Lilly Davenport-Price, or Queenie Bean, depending on how close you are to her. You might know her as different things. So we're just going to mix it all up in there so you guys know who we're talking about. And we're going to make it happen tonight. Let's welcome our first guest, Miss Amanda Pagnucco. How are you today?
Hey, I'm not going to correct you on the name. I'm going to let y'all know before the show started. He told us I'm going to say what I want to say, how I want to say it, as long as I want to say it.
That's hilarious. You're not supposed to tell people the behind the scenes stuff. What are you doing? That was for us.
You said it perfectly. It was
okay.
Perfect.
Okay, good. I did say that. I said,
What's
this
up,
is
y'all?
my show. And I'm going to say what I want to say, I want to say it. And that's just how it's going to be. Okay. If you get a show, do that. Okay. Just make sure people know. They don't want to be offended. Like, who are you to talk? It's my show.
Oh, no.
All right.
They
So.
shouldn't be offended. You earned it, right? You're here.
Exactly, right? It's just how it is. I mean, come on. What are we talking about? So, Amanda, let me start with first of all, I have watched your fitness journey for a few years now. I probably picked you up at fit already. You were probably already fit by the time I saw you, and I was like, I remember you posted videos or something on social media, and I was like, she is not playing around in the gym. Like, it's a lot of people in the gym playing around. She is not one of them. And you looked like you were working hard but enjoying it. You look like I could tell you had a story. I didn't know the whole story. I just could tell you had a story. I could tell that this was not just something you were in there doing, or maybe not even something that was a part of your whole life, but it was definitely something you were committed to and definitely something you had gotten into for a purpose and a reason. So, Amanda, if you could just start us off with some thoughts on how did your when did your fitness journey begin?
For sure. So I actually grew up as a competitive gymnast. And
Hmm.
when I would say seventh grade hit, I transitioned away from that a little bit. And my mom started taking me to Lady Super Fitness. So I think
Here
it
in
was on
Canton?
Cleveland.
It was over
Yeah.
there like by Ben Franklin's or something. It was off of
Yes.
30th Street. Like it was somewhere like okay, anyway. I don't know why I know that. I was just like, I don't think I'm allowed to go there. That's for ladies. All right, ladies.
Lady
Yes.
Super Fitness. So
Uh-huh.
I started going with my mom and I started learning some of the machines. And really, what it was is, hey, Corinne.
Right.
Really, what
You
it
helped
was
me.
is I just wanted to be with her. My mom and I are
Uh-huh.
really close. So I was like, all right, cool. We're going to go to the gym together.
Uh-huh.
Fast forward, high school, I wasn't super, super active. College is when I really started going to our rec center and just watching people's workouts. So
Hmm.
I didn't know what something was. I would just walk up and ask. I'm a super social person. So I was like, what's that do? What's that for?
Uh-huh.
And fast forward again, and it wasn't a super super passion for me. It was just I wanted to look good, feel good at that point, right?
Okay.
So fast forward, I got pregnant, I had my kids, and after I had my son, I hit 260 pounds. So I'm 5'8", so it wasn't super super struggle for me, but I was really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And when I was pregnant, that was my escape. So going to the gym, working out, that was really my
While
escape.
you were
And
pregnant, going to the gym was your escape.
it was while I was
Mhm.
pregnant and
So
throughout.
I apologize. First of all, to all the pregnant ladies or soon to be someday will be pregnant ladies, you can work out while you're pregnant. Is that right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. So you can obviously ask your doctor first, but you can do what you did pre pregnancy
Mm.
and you'll be just fine. So you want to lift weights, lift weights. You want to run, run. Obviously, if you're in a healthy pregnancy and your doctor clears it. So
Mhm.
at that time as well, I was in a really, really challenging marriage. And
Mm.
so exercise, going to the gym, that really became my escape and it became my therapy. It's like the
Mm.
one place that I felt completely in control of my life. The one place where I'm not focusing on kids, I'm not focusing on relationship. I'm literally focused on what I'm doing and being the best version of me.
Mhm.
So I kept up with that. I was in the gym and watching my nutrition, and I started, going from that 260 and dropping a little bit and getting stronger, and it became less about the physical transformation and more about should we not curse on here?
We should not, but you
We
can
should not
continue.
curse.
It's okay. But go get question.
So
But keep going. Keep going.
so I'll be authentically me without the swearing. So
Yes.
feeling really, really confident, right?
Mhm.
And just secure in who I was. So I was doing that all the while. I'd already graduated with my bachelor's in finance, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do in the finance world, in the corporate world, and all of it just sounded boring and mundane. And being that I developed such an attachment with my mental health in the gym, I saw what it did for me. And it became really important to me to bring other people into that. So I just kept working on me and went and got my certification for training. And
Mm.
it's a little bit of the background.
Interesting, fascinating. So your fitness journey started. You were a gymnast as a child,
Yes.
right? But then you were pregnant and you gained a lot of weight during the pregnancy.
Yeah,
Were
about
you
seven.
are you saying that you started to lose the weight after the pregnancy or still during because you started working out? So after you had your child, you then got back in the gym and that's when it really started to change.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So people out there are always wondering, like, what does it take? Right? Somebody out there is like, it's time for a new me and it's a new season and I want to change my life. I want to be healthier. They may have just had a baby or they may have had a baby 5 years ago or 10 years ago or 20 years ago and they're like I'd never been the same, right? There's a lot of people out there who that's their story, right? And there's even men out there when the man is with the woman and she has the baby, we eat more too. We be like, you eating, we eat, we having Big Macs, are we having Big Macs then, oh, it's Whopper night again. Okay, it's Whopper night then. I got you, honey. I'm gonna go get Whoppers for all of us, right? And everybody gains weight, right? So what basic thing is it? I don't know if it's advice or what basic thought do you have when it comes to somebody who comes to you like, Amanda, you're in such good shape. I wish I was like you. What do you say to them?
You really have to get sick enough of your own self to
Mm,
make a change.
interesting.
And you have to love yourself enough to make that change. So that's the simple, right, rounded edge version. There's so
Mm-hmm.
much more to it than that. And I think a lot of people's barriers are, there's a couple different things, right? They don't have time. They're worried. This is the biggest one. They're worried about somebody judging them, right? So
Mm,
when you're new and you feel uncomfortable in your body and uncomfortable in your clothes and you don't want to be around people and, ooh, I feel gross, or ooh, I just, the gym gives you anxiety, or working out, you don't know what to do, where to start.
mm-hmm.
How bad do you want it, right?
Mm,
So how
yeah.
bad do you want? Yes, exactly. Love yourself enough to make that change. If you want to feel the way that you feel right now,
Mm,
stay. And I know, when you're dealing with depression, anxiety, because a lot of us, it's not just as simple as saying, like, I'm going to be better. It's not
right.
all roses and sunshine, right?
Right.
But you have to respect your mental and your physical health enough to make that change and literally go one day at a time. If you don't want to go work out that day, go walk outside. Or if it takes all of your strength to get into the car to get to the gym, make that change, or enlist somebody that wants to do it with you. But
Mm,
it's not going to be a matter of having that motivation. It's your discipline. It's you
mm,
saying, no, I don't want to be back here, because every time you don't take a step forward, you're sliding back.
great
And
point.
that goes with faith, that goes with your level of commitment to your exercise, that goes with our relationships,
Yep.
so it's a whole game changer. And when you take control, and this is my personal journey, when I took control of my physical health, my mental health, and the way I mothered my children, and
Mm,
the way I did my job at work, and the way I treated people around me, completely transformed,
mm,
right? Because you can't, they say, and it's so cliche, but it's so true, you can't pour from an empty cup,
that's
right?
true.
So you keep giving and giving and giving, and take care of your boss and take care of your spouse and the kids and all these other obligations. But like, what are you doing for you? So when
Yes.
people come to me and they're like, I want to do that. All right, well, how bad do you want it? And then you have to have some real pimp conversations with each
Right.
other about that accountability and that dedication.
So true. I think a lot of us struggle in life because we don't have the right people around us. And I said that today about the energy thing, right? Like, who are we exchanging energy with? Who do we surround ourselves with? There's a saying like you're the average of the five people you spend the most time with. And many of us are so busy trying to help people that are failing at life, we're not surrounding ourselves with people who are winning at life. And then we start to find ourselves failing, right? And so we have to surround ourselves with people who are doing well as well and are reaching their goals and are doing well. And then we have an opportunity then to give back and then to help others, which is something that you do is going to help others be fit. And my wife made a comment earlier that, and I didn't know this until the other day. I had booked you for the show and I said, I'm having Amanda Pagnucco on the show. Did I say your name right? Is it Pagnucco?
Pagnucco, yeah.
I'm a pro. I am good. Okay. So I said, I'm having Amanda P on the show is what I said because I was trying to figure out how to say your last name just right, but I got it now. And she said, "Oh yeah, she's so sweet, so kind." I was like, "Yeah, she's so cool." And she said, "Yeah, actually, one day they were going to the gym, and you saw them going in. You guys were talking, and our daughter Savannah runs track. You were like, 'Well, what is she working on? What's going on?' You were like, 'I can put together a little workout. I can help her out.' And you just helped her. I mean, like that is first of all amazing to think that you're just going to help somebody, not a paid client. I didn't get the bill yet. I don't know if it's coming, but just hold on to it for now. But you just help somebody who needed it and put yourself in a position to help others. When it comes to helping people with health and fitness, talk to me about the I want to help people versus the business side, because there is a business side. You can't just be at the gym working out and just help everybody in the gym, right? So how have you structured yourself from just I'm willing to help somebody who's really in need, or if I see somebody struggling with the machine or something, I would give them advice, or if somebody asked for me for help, I would help them, versus I have a business to run. Talk to me about your business as a personal trainer.
So initially, one of the reasons I really got into training and I turned it into a business was because I was having friends ask me, "Hey, can I come work out with you?" So here was the kicker for me was I absolutely am an independent workout human being, right?
Really?
I like to be in my headphones. I don't want to talk to anybody. I want to pretend I can't hear you even if they're dead. But
Yes, I've done that. I've done that. Yes.
yeah, like
Yeah.
sorry, what?
I can't. No,
Just don't make
no
eye
way.
contact.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, look away. Avert your eyes.
All right.
So so I had some friends who were wanting to work out with me and I would have people come in with me and I realized that if you're not on the same dedication or motivation level or even fitness level because we're all at different places. Um it was and it sounds kind of selfish to say it, but it was hindering my personal workouts. But I loved so much like watching somebody PR on a squat or watching somebody pick up an 80-pound. This is what I did with Corinne and Savannah, pick up that 80-pound med ball that you didn't think you were about to be able to pick up. Like to
My
get
daughter
that
was
thing.
picking up 80 pound. She don't even
Yes.
carry groceries in the house. She can pick up 80 pound man. What? Okay.
I'm sorry.
Things are
I
about to
outed
change
you.
around here. Okay. All right. Okay. Continue. Okay. So helping people see they can do things they couldn't didn't think they could otherwise do. Continue.
Yes. And so it's such an important part of who I am. And it feels so good to be a part of that journey with other people. And so I went and got my certification because, well, one, COVID, and I was having trouble finding a corporate America job. And I was like, let me take this passion that I love and turn it into a business. But, when it comes to business versus just helping somebody out in the gym, I see you not doing something incorrectly, but doing something that could be tweaked. I want, and I try to stay in this mindset, I want somebody to openly help me
Yeah.
if they can see a change that gets to be made. And so I try to, as gently and gracefully as possible, offer that guidance to other people. If they don't want it, okay. But
Right.
if you're open, and I think that we become better versions of ourselves by being open and listening, even when it feels like a kind of critical situation. Getting our hamstrings together.
Right.
Exactly. Hamstrings and core. That med ball squat a day will keep the back pain away. Um,
Interesting. Okay. Okay.
mhm.
Get your med ball, everybody, and get your squat together and get your back. People like my back hurts too much to do the med ball. You're saying start somewhere and get started. Okay.
Yeah, start lower. But
Yes.
differentiating between the two, yes, business is business. And I have people that I absolutely love that maybe are not financially able to put themselves into a one-on-one training position. And so with that, I run group boot camps or talk to them, offer guidance. There's really no hard and set or hard and fast line towards like you can't pay, so I'm not going to talk to you, and you're a paying client.
Right.
I think that ebb and flow is something that we all work in on our business, and you meet a lot of cool people who might not be a one-on-one client,
Mm.
and they might have something that they can teach you also, maybe not in the fitness world, but in another realm. So
I
That's
love
a
that.
really tough question to answer because there's no like, I'm
That's
not
fair.
that.
Yeah.
That's fair. So let's talk real quick about you started to say like your original career. You were looking to get into. You said 2020 the job thing wasn't working. What were your original career goals though? Was it a 2020 thing or was it something you always wanted to be? What were your original career goals?
I had no interest in being a trainer ever until until
Ever ever.
maybe maybe as I got right around the time I got pregnant with my daughter, because I was doing a lot of home workouts. So this was 2013, 2012, 2013.
Mm-hmm.
My original career goal. So I grew up actually in this area. I graduated high school here. I wanted to sell oceanfront real estate in Hilton Head, South Carolina. So it was somewhere that my family vacationed every year. Right.
I love it.
So
Yes. Okay. Yes. They got
that's
a
where I was
Piggly
going.
Wiggly. Do they still got a Piggly Wiggly? Who's been to Hilton Head recently? They got a Piggly Wiggly. Ride your bike down, rent your bike, ride your bike down, and they got the best ice cream shop I've ever gone to in my life. Shout out to Hilton Head. You wanted to sell oceanfront property in Hilton Head.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I started while I was a junior in high school up here. I started looking at colleges down south. So, like College of Charleston, Charleston Southern. And I just started applying. I was like, I'm going to just go and see what happens. And I picked Georgia Southern University because they had the best palm trees and they had a really nice pond with a fountain next to their one of their cafes. So I was like, that's where I'm going. They have finance and real estate. I'll see y'all later. So I moved to Georgia when I was 17 and I got my bachelor's down there from Georgia Southern. And while I was down there, I started a family, got married, and so I stayed down there. I was down in Georgia for 10 years and
Mm.
it wasn't really ever my intention, like I said, to be a trainer, but I knew how much I loved and had a passion for working out. So I always incorporated that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just was so stuck in my small town mindset of go to college, get a degree, work in corporate America, find a nine to
Mhm.
five job, find a spouse, have the kids. And I never really stepped outside of that to explore what I was actually passionate about. It just
Wow.
sort of developed. It just developed over time.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So this was never your goal. My goal was never to be a podcaster either or a host, but I love it. I love it. I love it. But it's something you were always passionate about, something you always cared about, and now you're carrying it forward, living a healthy lifestyle. So many people are going year to year, hoping to get healthy this year, hoping they're going to do better. Every year, January, the gym is packed.
Hmm.
February, the gym is back to normal, right? It's like everybody's like, that's over. So what so for you, what is your why? Like what drives you, what keeps you going? How do you do this thing that so many people struggle with?
My my why is there's a couple different parts to it. My main reason is I get so much satisfaction and it makes me like fill with sunshine when I see other people feeling better about themselves.
Mm,
And it's not so much seeing them look in the mirror and love what they're physically looking at. It's watching how somebody walks differently. It
mm,
is taking someone who feels completely alone in their life, maybe this is scenario, obviously,
mhm,
they feel completely alone in their life. They come to me, we start training together, and their mindset shifts and they are happier the next time they walk in. They walk in the door that first time dreading it. I hate this. I hate working out. I hate my spouse. My kids are, a crap show. And everything changes. And getting to be a part of that is the most rewarding thing I could possibly imagine.
amazing.
Um, another reason why for me is I really, really, truly want my children to see it does not matter what you are passionate about,
Mm,
you go get it.
mm,
Mhm.
And you can create a career out of whatever passion fills your heart, right?
I
If it
love
if
it.
it fills your heart tank, you go get it and you figure out
Yes.
how to get it.
Mm,
And so I don't want my kids to just go, all right, I got to go to college, I got to get a degree. That's not for everybody. These
right.
standardized school system is not for everybody.
Mm,
And I want them to know, like, you want to do nails?
go
You
get it.
go do
Go.
what you want to do, and know
Yes.
that. But also, whether it's career, and I'm showing my kids passion in life, or it's you coming into the gym and you're my client, you are 100% responsible for what happens to you and what happens in your life. And so seeing people take control of that is like,
Amazing.
it brings me joy. It's like exploding.
Right. I love it. I love that. Go get it. Hashtag go get it. She tells her children that. How old are your children? They're not even that old.
They're not. My daughter is 9. She'll be 10 March 5th. And my son is 6.5.
I love it. I love it. That young, and you're telling them to go get it. I love what you said about it not being about the standard way of doing things. Like we have to understand the standard way of doing things was to control people to make sure that people would do things in a standard way, to make sure that
Yes.
they would come and help them build their dreams, right? So it was like a school system was a great idea for people who wanted to create people to come work in their businesses. It wasn't set up to teach you how to own a business, run a business. We know it because they don't teach us those things in school. They don't teach us finance. They don't teach us how to invest. They don't teach us that. They teach us, first of all, a lot of stuff about. I'm not even sure why knowing that Abraham Lincoln was the 16th president really changes my life. I'm not sure. I know the Pythagorean theorem. I often shout it out because I was really good in algebra. Have never needed it ever in my life, but except to take my classes in algebra. But it really does get us stuck. And to everybody whose children are in school and all that, all good. But we have to teach them to think outside of that. That is the box. They're like, think outside the box. You can't think outside of something you don't know you're in. They put you in a box from the day you're born. They start labeling you, numbering you, putting you in a box. Like, this is who you are. You're a citizen of this country. Here's a number. It's like, here you come into school, you have a permanent record. Remember they used to scare us with that? This is gonna be on your permanent record. Like, oh no, it's gonna follow me everywhere. I never went to a job and they were like, we pulled your permanent record, and in third grade you pulled Sally's hair, and nobody cares. There's no permanent record. Get out of here. But they teach us that, they scare us with that, and we're locked in. And we never
Right.
know that we could be a trainer and help change people's lives. We never know we could do hosting and shows and podcasting and change people's lives. We never know. It's just like, how can I make money? They try to teach you how you can make money, and they're like, come work for me. But they don't say what happens if you own your own business or own your own time at least. What if you owned your own time
Mhm.
and you could flexibly do things to help other people change their lives? I love that that's what you do. Amanda, what's next for you? Like what else is going on with you? What else are you looking at doing?
Okay. Next for me. So pre-COVID, I got my birth doula certification.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
It's another empowerment thing, being part of the birth. So I am going back and recertifying because a lot has changed since COVID, and
Mhm.
a lot of hospital policies, home births, a lot of that's different. So I'm going back, I'm going to recertify to get my birth doula certification updated. And then my next venture is creating a women's program where we are not just in the gym training.
Mm.
We are focused on training around our menstrual cycles, because everyone knows, if you are a woman or if you are around women, our level of emotions, our abilities when it comes to working out, everything's different. And
Mm.
because our bodies are going through some major changes, right?
Right.
Whether you have serious menstrual cycles or very, very subdued, or you're menopausal. So I am working on learning more about that and taking a course in that right now. So that way I can tie that in even deeper than I currently do with my clients' trainings, but creating a women's program where we are working in our relationships at home, mesh with our training, mesh with our hormones, and really getting all of that on track. So
Mhm.
that is the next step for me. I will be I'll drop a little bit more once I have some more information
Okay.
and the direction that that's going. But I'm really just working on expanding my education at this point, so that way I can be of deeper service. And it's more than just like I'm gonna hire a personal trainer,
I love
because
that.
there's more to it than that for everybody.
Yes, I love it. Amanda, thank you so much. If somebody wants to get with you, they want to work out with you, they want to learn from you, how can they get a hold of you? How can they go about doing it? Do you still do group? Do you just do individual? Just give us a little bit of a breakdown so people know if they're looking at you today and saying, I'd love to work out with her, how do they do that?
So, two ways to contact me. My Instagram is at Manda Pagnucco. So just take the first A off my name, Manda Pagnucco. Instagram is Manda Pagnucco. Facebook is Amanda. So first name, last name. Send me a DM, comment on a picture. And from there, I'll give my phone number and we'll talk more details. But the short version of it is I train one-on-one at Fitco Gym. It's on Wise Avenue in North Canton. I do boot camps dependent upon my kids' sports schedules. So weekend boot camps typically. I also will do small group training, so 2 to 3 people, because that takes the financial responsibility and it splits it
Yes.
amongst people,
Love it.
and you get the satisfaction of working out with a friend and
Love it.
having that connection and that bond there. So few different things that I offer. And then when it comes to doula services, if you are just wanting a support person there for you and your spouse, your partner, again, you guys got my social media. That's the best way to contact me. I'm totally transparent on there, and I get back to everyone as soon as I can.
I love it. I love it. Amanda, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for your openness and transparency. You guys make sure you follow her. Let me put that back up there. She posts videos, she posts her life, her story, her journey. It's not just physical fitness. She talks about it all. She's somebody who you can relate to, somebody you can talk to. If you're interested in working with her, reach out to her today. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. And thank you so much for being our guest. Thank you so much, Amanda.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, everybody. Our next guest is getting ready. She's backstage. She's fixing her camera right now, and she was fixing her bun. I shouldn't say that. You shouldn't say that a lady was fixing her bun. She was fixing her bun, but it looks lovely. It's just lovely. It's beautiful. Okay, let me welcome on our next guest, Miss Lily. You may know her as Lily Davenport, Lily Price, Lily Queenie B. I said that earlier. Let's welcome to the show, Miss Lily. How are you today?
Fine. How are you? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you great.
Okay.
Welcome to the show. Welcome back.
Yeah, well, thanks for calling me out about my bun. I don't even think it fits.
It don't even fit. Do you want to? I mean, they can't even see it. You went through all that trouble.
It's okay.
She
It's
spent
okay.
22 minutes getting the bun
I work
together.
really hard on it.
It's lovely. It's lovely. It's great. It's great. Whether it's in the shot or not, the bun
Right.
is ready to roll. The bun is there. Lily, you're someone who I have known since high school, although I did learn something new about you today. Um, you know, I said you were a Canton McKinley graduate. I said Lily graduated
Yeah.
the same year. You did graduate the same year as me, but you didn't
Yes.
graduate from the same school as me. I graduated from Canton McKinley. You graduated from Canton Timken, and
Yes.
there's a story behind that.
There is.
Do you want to
Um,
tell us the story behind that, Lily?
I
You
don't want to tell
said
the story because, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna. It's a part of my, testimony. I
that's
got
what you
kicked.
told me before the
I got
show.
kicked out of McKinley. I pretty much had freshman credit, but I was at junior status. When I was at McKinley, I did absolutely nothing. I
When
sat
you
in
were
the
at McKinley, you did absolutely nothing.
did absolutely nothing. I just sat in the commons, and then I think I left school at 10:10 every day just to skip. It was
Okay.
like time in class, and so
Uh
I ended
huh.
up getting suspended for getting into a fight at a really big game, McKinley Glen Oak game.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, I grabbed the officer, and he fell.
Oh,
And when that happened, they arrested me, cuffed me up, and took me to jail. And I was 16 years old. And so they ended up, they were going to expel me. And so rather than expel me, my parents advocated. And my brother was actually a football player for Timken. And one of the board members loved my brother as the
Oh,
quarterback
wow.
for Timken. And so they were like, okay, if she transfers, then we won't expel her. So I transferred and I got all my credits up and graduated on time. And it was such a blessing for me to transition to
Lily,
Timken.
I love that story. We
So,
talked about it before the show, and you didn't know if I was going to make you tell the story or not, but you said I'll tell my story because
I
you
tell
believe
it.
in being transparent. You believe that a part of helping people is sharing the fact that every day wasn't good or easy for you, but you found a way forward. Talk to us a little bit about, in general, how do you help people with health and fitness? Because, as Amanda said, it's more than just being in the gym or just working
Right.
out somewhere. Talk to us a little bit about this holistic approach you take to health and wellness.
Yeah. Well, first of all, after I heard Amanda, I was like, why am I here? She's awesome.
You guys, this is why we want to connect great people. You should know her now. You
Yeah.
do, so it's all good.
Right. When I was listening to her, I'm like, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. And it sounds like she's pretty much on the same avenue and kick that I am. It's really my approach. I'm not a certified fitness trainer, but my experience and my physical fitness and my physical wellness, my mental wellness, my spiritual wellness, and really taking all three of those components and putting them together and working with folks on how to use all of those things to just feel better about yourself.
Mm,
So I don't really tell people like, let's have a goal to lose weight and do X, Y, and Z. It's more of a goal to feel better about who you are.
mm,
And so, similar to what Amanda was sharing, going to the gym for me was an outlet, just a space for me to just focus on me. As a mother, having three kids, when do you have time
mm.
to really focus on yourself? And so being in the gym, I'm like, yeah, I got this. And similar to Amanda, I'm independent. I'm like, don't be talking to me because I'm getting it in today. And I only got so much time because I got kids at home. So we're gonna get this in. But
Right.
I felt so good. But there was something that was missing with that. Mentally, when I would go back to my home, I still didn't feel good. And I felt like something was missing. And I've been raised in the church, I've grown up in the church, but I wasn't tapping in the way that I needed to for me. And what I realized in my spiritual life was that I need the word, I need to be fed. That's something that makes me a better person because there's things that I struggle with, like fighting at the McKinley
Okay.
Villanova.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know.
Then it creates this, imbalance if God is not there, if He's not centered for me. And so as I started to incorporate that, I'm like, this physical thing and this spiritual thing, it's lining up. You know, it's like God was showing me how important it is to take care of the temple that He gave us. But then also that incorporated this mental wellness piece of it's okay to leave your kids for a couple hours and go get a massage
Is
and
it
their nails done. I was that mom, and I still struggle. That
okay?
I know kids never. They
Uh
never
huh.
spent the night where they even when I gave birth, I was like, "Where's my older son?" I'm like, "He needs to be here." Like, no, he can stay the night.
Right, right.
Like,
They had to keep him, right.
right. I always with my kids,
Mhm.
and just felt like I had to be there. But me doing that didn't necessarily make me a great mom because I wasn't always happy.
I
And
love
so as
that.
I started to take breaks, and just show love to myself, that's one of those things that Amanda mentioned too. Like, show love to myself by taking care of myself. Hey, I'm going to work out. Hey, I'm going to get a massage. Hey, I'm going out with the girls for a little bit. I was a better mom.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And let me say, I this has been something that's been really big on my heart and mind lately. Has been the difference between being self first and selfish.
Mm-hmm.
And I've struggled most of my life because I always thought to put myself first automatically made me selfish. And I always prided myself on being a selfless person, which means I put myself as less than others, as though that's some type of badge of honor, as though that's some type of godly principle. And it's
Right.
not. It is not a God. To love your neighbor as yourself means you have to love yourself first. If I don't
Right.
love me because I don't give myself any time, or I don't even know what it's like to love me, then how do I love you? Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Well, I don't know what I want people to do. I don't know how I want to be treated. All I want to do is serve everybody else and treat everybody else great. But that means that how can I treat you well if I don't treat me well? So we have a
Right.
bad philosophy of it, a bad theology of it, right? Philosophy, the way we think about it, theology, the way we look at God's character and nature when it comes to it.
Mm-hmm.
We think that God wants us, even as parents, we think we have been blessed with children, but most people feel like they've been cursed with children because we believe it is an 18-year sentence. And
Yeah.
then if you have children, and then you have children while those children are still growing, this might turn into a 20, 30, 40 years, might turn into life.
Time here, okay? I was
Right?
counting years the other day. I was like, geez, I'm gonna be
That's
right.
right. How old will I be when I'm done with this sentence? Are these kids gonna be with me until I'm dead? Then they're gonna have grandkids, and then they're gonna have to raise them. And we have this thought that we just have to do for them. Yes, there's a responsibility if we have children to care for our children, take care of our children, be there for our children. We are not at all saying, and Lily, I'm sure you're not saying, just leave your children for hours on end, go to the gym, go get your nails done every day, go do whatever, and really let them fend for themselves. No, but at the same
Right.
time, if I don't take care of me as their father, if ladies especially don't take care of themselves as mothers, what good are you? Like Amanda said it earlier, pouring from an empty cup. It's like,
Right.
I can't help you. I can't serve you. I can't love you because no, I'm not loving myself. I'm not serving myself. I'm not caring for myself. So, to anybody out there watching, looking at your new goals, and think about the difference between being self first, being versus being selfish. Just because you're looking out for yourself does not make you selfish. If you only look out for yourself and you never consider your children, your family, your friends, then you're selfish and you need to get it together. But to those of you who just need a minute to take a break, go in the room and close the door. I know so many, especially mothers again, and I always say this because dads can play video games, dad can watch sports. Not in every household, let me not stereotype, but in a lot of households, the dads can get away with some stuff, myself included, okay? But the moms be like in the bathroom hiding and stuff. They be like, I'm in here. You in the bathroom again? They're like, yeah. They just trying to get away, right? So,
Lucas, I have not used the restroom by myself in 17
oh,
years.
you haven't even got to use the bath. Oh, Lily,
Uh-uh.
poor
No,
thing. You
no,
haven't 17 good ones.
it's stuff I'm like, please turn around. Please keep talking, but turn around. Thank you.
It never stops. It never stops. Please, right, right. Keep talking. Can I have a little bit of privacy? Thank you,
Right.
please. So again, Lily, back to your thoughts about that, about taking care of yourself and doing. How did you make the shift? Somebody out there is watching, like, yeah, that sounds good. I've always wanted to do that. And one day I was just gonna, just go away for a few hours, but I felt so bad, and I ended up spending all my money buying my children things, and I didn't get myself anything. How did you make that shift?
It's a balance. And like I said, I'm not always perfect at it even now. I have three kids that are so far apart in age and they all have needs. 17, 10, and 2. So even the 17-year-old, he still needs me. He's helping him with college, things like that. So that guilt is still there sometimes, but I had to force myself. And for with everything, I understand that it's a fight. It's a fight to take care of yourself. It's a fight to implement God into your life. It's a fight if you want to take care of yourself physically, to go work out. Amanda was talking about that desire and really loving yourself enough and, getting in that car and driving to the gym. Those are things that are all very true.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fight. And even when it comes to loving yourself, it's a fight, and saying that I'm not a great mom if I'm stressed. I'm not a great dad. It's not even just about being, a
Sure.
mother. It's about like being a parent. Like, I'm not the best for you if I'm not taking care of me. And so when I see that I'm home and after I get my eyebrows done or whatever it is that I did for myself, and when I come home, I have that energy to dance with my daughter, talk with my
Mm.
sons, and interact with them because I took some time for me that day. You know, it even puts me in position to miss them, right? Like if we're constantly around each other and for them to miss me, you
Yeah,
know, sometimes they want a break
that's
because I'm
fair.
hey, you need to do them dishes. So
You better
if
get on
I'm
your
there,
right.
right, then they can play their video games or do whatever it is that they're doing, and or go and spend time with their dad or whatever it is, and we get that break and then we come back together and everybody feels happier. So I think the experience of doing it helped me, but
Mhm.
again also that battle of saying, okay, no, I'm taking time for myself. I'm getting in the car, I'm gonna go get a massage, or I'm getting in the car, I'm going to get my favorite, ice cream or my favorite coffee or whatever it is that you need that time to do.
Yeah.
It's something you have to force yourself into doing.
I love it. I love it. And I hope somebody out there is hearing this and thinking about how they're going to love themselves better, because you can't get physically fit when you're not emotionally fit,
Yeah,
mentally fit, spiritually fit. Like, people are a mess, out of shape spiritually, thinking they're going to be physically fit. And it's like, you don't have what it takes. You can't even find your way there. They're mentally a mess. It's like, it's hard to go to the gym. It's cold, it's dark, and you're dealing with your mental stuff. Hard to
right.
do. When you're
Yeah.
emotionally a mess, you're sad, you're depressed. It's hard to do. So it's important for people to find balance, or for people to find wholeness, I would say, in all those areas. You started something called Imagine Me. Talk to us a little bit about Imagine Me. What is that about, and why did you start that?
Well, you had me on a couple years ago because during COVID time, I have a COVID baby. I'm in the hospital, all during the COVID time and all that. And then we were all together and I needed to break loose and I started waist trainers and they were called Imagine Me waist trainers.
Right.
And I started to work out and I'm using these waist trainers and I'm showing everybody how to get snatched. But I had a lot of women coming to me for more than that,
Mm.
like, hey, I saw your post and you always seem so happy, you always seem so positive. But I have shared, I recently shared, probably about 3 months ago, like publicly, I was having thoughts of hurting myself and all kinds of stuff during that time.
Mm.
And people didn't know it.
Wow.
I was just trying to live, I
Mm.
was just trying to function. And you and I talked a lot during
Yeah.
that time. I appreciate
Yep.
you reaching out to me. But
Absolutely.
I really was going through the toughest time of my life as a mother and a woman, you know?
Mm.
And I was doing selling these waist trainers, but these women kept coming to me and saying, like, oh, you're so positive, you're so this, and how can you help me? And and I had, my relationship was falling apart,
Mm-hmm.
you know? But I would have women calling me that I didn't even hardly know, like, hey, something told me to reach out to you. Like, me and my spouse are having problems, and I'm
Mm.
trying to spiritually help them keep their families together, falling apart. And I'll be like, God, what is this? What are you doing? Because
Yeah.
I don't have the energy, you know what I'm saying, to do
Right.
this. I don't have the energy, but He gave me that energy. And like
Mm.
Amanda said, I got such a high out of helping people.
Wow.
Like, I got such a high. I would talk to them and they would say, oh, that's exactly how I felt. Or,
Mm.
oh, that's exactly, you know, that's what I'm going through. And, what are you doing? And I knew it was ministry.
Mm.
So it was more than selling a waist trainer at that point. It was
Mm.
something that I knew that I thank God for the waist trainers,
Yeah.
it really opened the door to something so much bigger and something that felt so much, it just felt so right for me. It
Yeah.
was just, and so I started Imagine Me, where I just basically throw in all three of those components: the spiritual wellness, mental wellness, and the physical wellness. I've
Mm-hmm.
done challenges, and This is my second one that's coming up. It's a 90-day challenge where we focus on all three of those components.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that folks are like, I want to lose weight and I want to get small and I want to get snatched. But for me, it's the spiritual portion of it.
Mm.
It's the spiritual portion of it.
Right.
When, because any challenge that I do, I want to say I've done it myself.
Okay.
Like I'm dedicated to it myself. And when I'm talking or educating folks on how to really create life balance, because not only do we struggle with going to the gym, we struggle with finding time for God. Like if we don't have
Woo.
time for ourselves to go, go get a coffee by myself, how in the world as a mother, right?
Mm.
Especially a single mom,
Yeah.
okay? And that's where my heart goes. Like my
Yeah.
heart for those single mamas.
Yeah.
I'm for all parents, but it's tough, you know. And you want me to create time for God, but I got to go to school and I got to work and I got to take care of my kids. And but where does God come in at that?
Yeah.
At that point? Like where do I fit him in?
Yeah.
Where can I read the King James version and try to understand it?
Who's gonna translate that for me?
Right. And I need a translator. And
Right.
so really throughout these 90 days it's about fighting and going into a battle of saying I want this. I want
Yeah.
to physically feel better, I want to mentally feel better, and more importantly I want to spiritually feel more connected, because
Yeah.
when we spiritually feel more connected, God can show you what's next. I
Yes.
can't,
Mm.
like I can't show you that.
I love
I can hand it to you, I can give you guidance, but when you're connected to him on your own, man, the things that he can open,
that's
open
amazing.
your eyes to and show you. And so my goal in that 90 days is that folks feel so connected spiritually that they're writing out their visions and they're like, hey, I can do this. Like
Yeah.
me and God on this. But it's about fighting for it. So when is the time? Is it before your house wakes up? Because if my house wakes up at 7, then I gotta fight to be up at 6, so I
Mm.
can be in my word, try to get a little workout in or something in during that time, or switch it up. Maybe I'm in my word 3 times a week, and maybe 3 times a week I'm working out.
Okay.
Getting up, I'm getting up a little bit earlier. I'm
Yes.
fighting. I'm doing that, virtuous woman proverb where I'm up, before the sun rises,
Right.
and I'm fighting to have that relationship. And that's what it is. It's
I
all
love that.
about just creating life balance.
Lily, so well said and so well thought out. Some things you said. One, you talked about making time for God, which is truly a struggle for most people. And I think some people find they go to a personal trainer that they call a pastor and a gym that they call a church. And that's
Mhm.
where they do their thing. And they go in there and they sing a couple songs, clap a little bit, shout a little bit, or quiet a little bit, or whatever their particular deal is. And that's it. They're like, I'm good for the week. And I used to say that. I used to say church was like the gas station. I come here to fill up. Well, that was
Yeah,
that wasn't it. Like, how in the world am I going to have a relationship when we only get together maybe once a week? And a lot of people aren't even doing once a week.
yeah,
So if that's the extent of any relationship, 52 weeks a year, that's a pretty weak relationship.
yeah,
So to find time to say, I'm going to get up earlier, which means I have to go to bed earlier, which means I have to make some sacrifices in order to
yeah.
have this relationship I want. That's what we have to do. Like anybody who wants a successful relationship, you are recently married. Congratulations to you on that, by the way. So happy for you. Congratulations, Lily, on being married. Because I was there with you, and you and I had a lot of conversations before
Yeah,
you met your husband, and
yeah,
there were some tough times for you, and you mentioned that as well. Like, first of all, again, finding time for God. To everybody out there who's listening, God is the God of time. He made time for us to figure out how to find him.
right,
He doesn't
right,
need time. He doesn't live in time. He's outside of time. He gave us time as a gift to be like, let me give you some ways of measuring your days so that you don't forget me. Because if I just made all days one day, you really never catch me. But let me give you some time frames and some seasons and some holy days and some different
right,
things to make sure you can track me, engage me, and you can try to find me in this even though I'm not hard to find. And God was like, it's
Mhm.
a gift to you. But then we can't find time for God when God gave us time. So everybody who's struggling with that, you have to be willing to make some sacrifices. One of the
Yeah.
keys is for most people, like you said, we got to get up early. You have to get up before your children. You have to get up before your family. You have to get up and say, God, I'm going to give you my first fruits. I'm going to give you the first of what I have. I'm going to spend time with you and show you that without you, there is no wellness. But with you, there is constant wellness, and life is in you. So if I want to be healthy, my health and my wealth and my wisdom and everything is in the source. So I don't even
Yeah.
have to, like, if there ever was a magic pill, God is the magic pill. Like, everybody
Yeah.
wants something to make it easier. It is God that is the thing. So first of all, wonderful, wonderful saying that. You also mentioned that 2020-ish, you and I were talking quite a bit. And Lily, I cannot tell you how God that was, because I can't even tell you
Yeah.
what was really the catalyst for that. I know I was like, I could feel something with you. You and I
Yeah.
went to school together. We weren't lifelong friends. We didn't talk every month. We didn't talk over the year. It
Right.
was just like, somehow I was like,
Something
there's
going on.
something there, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, there's some reason we need to talk, right? And then we started talking, and you were very open and be like, call me anytime. We would talk, and you were going through stuff, and you were open and transparent. So I thank God for that. I thank God for being able to be there for someone who I know was going to be there for others someday. And you were doing that, and it's been a blessing for me to be friends with you. I'm blessed by you. Watching your
Same.
journey is a blessing to me. So thank you for being so open and sharing with me. And I didn't know. Let me say, I don't remember knowing the depth. I don't remember knowing. You said there were times where you didn't know if life was worth living. Is that right?
Yeah. And that was something that, one thing that I will say is I'm a person that is a shell.
Yeah.
When I'm going through something, I don't think anybody really knows
Yeah.
what I'm going through. Like, my family had no idea that I was
Mm.
6 months pregnant at home by myself with my kids. They did not know.
Wow.
They had no idea.
Wow.
And nobody knew. And that was pretty much how I wanted it. I'm a very private
Hmm.
person.
Yeah.
And so this part of me here is brand new in
Interesting.
so many ways. Like, I've always been able to talk about something when it's over.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I think, forget that I had a past in my, like, 17, 18, 19, where I was ratchet.
Yeah.
I
Somebody Google
was so
Ratchet, because that's what she
ratchet.
was. Okay.
And I just share my testimony because
Yeah.
I, experienced drug use and different things and was just wild for like
Yeah.
3.5 years. It was this really fast time. And I was very open about sharing that testimony. I had no problem because I had gotten past it.
Mm-hmm.
But this was different.
Yeah.
I was actually in the middle of it, having a baby, selling these waist trainers, encouraging, starting Bible studies. I have a wonderful Bible studies group that is my support system, and they have been for a couple years. And, like, folks had no idea. And I'm like
Mm.
pouring in to these other folks. But meanwhile, I am taking that time for God to pour into me.
Mm.
And me pouring into them actually helped me, you know.
Wow.
Obviously my kids gave me purpose. I was like, they need me.
Yeah.
And that was my main thing, was like, no matter how bad it gets, you have to get past this because they need you.
Yeah.
But once I learned to forgive, and that was the hard part, not forgiving other people but myself. And I think
Mm.
that is a stronghold for a lot of people when it comes to your physical wellness, your mental wellness, your spiritual wellness. Is like, am I even good enough? Because I've made these mistakes, I've done this. It's really about forgiving yourself so that you can
Yes.
move forward into what God has for you. Like, I looked up, I was like, I have 3 kids. I'm 38 years old. I think I was 37, 38 years old. Who is going to want me? And I have a brand new baby. Like,
You
she's
said,
brand.
you literally said, I believe you said those words to me, like,
I
this
did.
is
I'm pretty sure I said
complicated.
it to you several times.
You were like, it ain't gonna work, Lucas. I don't know. It's just not going. I'm like, it's gonna work, Lily. It's gonna work. I think it can work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then God sent me my husband, who I'm just so, there's nothing, I can't even put in words how much I appreciate him and how much he appreciates me. And he calls me queen. I'm his queen, and
I love that.
I've never been loved like this before. And
Whew.
so I share that testimony openly
Mm,
because I want other women to have that experience, not necessarily with a man, but just with God showing
I
them
love
that they
that.
have,
Mm,
like, it's not always a man. For me,
yes.
God knew what I needed. You know what I mean? He knew what I needed. And so when we take this journey, it's like an opportunity for them to see what it is that you need. What
Yeah.
is it that you need? And he'll send it.
Lily, I absolutely love it. I appreciate your transparency in sharing your journey and sharing your story. It fascinates me. It reminds me of watching your journey. Like Amanda, I'm not just somebody who's on social media. It's like I'm paying attention to what other people are doing. And also, again, sometimes seeing through the post to say, I don't know. Like there's something else in there that she's saying, and I could just feel it with you. Like she is encouraging a lot of people, but there's some pain in there. There's something
Right.
not quite aligned. And I love that you have done the work to get aligned in getting alignment. You've been blessed with your wonderful husband, your wonderful children. You guys are doing well, and I'm so happy for you. Let's close out by talking a little bit about this 90-day challenge. So,
Yeah,
how do people sign up? What's up with that? What do they get with that? Is it $20?
sure.
Is it $2,000? What is it? How do they get involved in the 90-day challenge?
I wish I could charge $2,000
Oh, you
and so
can. You can if you want to.
you know what? It's $35 and it's $35. It's a 90 day challenge. It starts January 16th. Um, Basically, you just inbox me. I sign you up. I add you to my private Facebook page. And what I'll do is I'll provide a workout for that week, a spiritual like session. I provide a meal plan for the 90 days. I provide a spiritual guidance doc to try to help women on their journey. What are things that I can do spiritually? We have a day of fasting throughout the 90 days where you just commit that entire day to God. So you just remove all negativity. So I always say
Mm.
no love and hip hop on that day. You
No, you
can't watch,
can't. Don't watch them shows. You
no love and hip
at
hop
least not.
because you
At least not that day.
not that day. Because you got to be real. Some of the
Yeah,
things that we watch and it's pouring into our spirit. We need a day
absolutely.
where nothing's pouring in but God. And that's how we hear him, listen to him. So in those 90 days, you get workouts, you'll get recipes, you'll get a meal plan, you'll get spiritual sessions and camaraderie. The Facebook pages for all the women that sign up, they can post what they're going through, they can post encouragement, they can post, hey, I worked out today. Whatever it is going to just kind of keep everybody moving. It's a fellowship.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Lily, thank you so much for coming on here today. Thank
Yeah.
you. This week you reached out to me, and I had made a post about my mom this week, and I said I was literally in Giant Eagle, here on the strip. I live in North Canton, and I was at Giant Eagle, just grabbing a couple things, and I lost my mom. My mom passed a few years ago. That's how I started this show, and I was thinking about her, and just tears came to my eyes, and I couldn't fight it. I usually can fight it off, at least if I'm out in public, and I'm like fighting, and I just couldn't. And I'm tearing up and tears running down my face. And then I'm getting myself together. I walk around the corner, I see some people, and everywhere I go, people know me, and they're like, "Hey," and I had to be honest with them. And it was a couple, and I told the guy, I said, I just was crying thinking about my mom, and I was honest, man to man, transparent to say, this is what I was going through. And I talked to him and his wife, and we talked about a lot of great things, and we kind of moved on. But I shared that on social media to say to people, not I want people to feel sorry for me. I just wanted to show
Right.
people like it's real. Like I'm a person with a lot of energy and a lot of love, and I come on and do these shows and do a lot of things. I've traveled around the country, like literally everywhere in the last 6 months, probably. But I have moments where I'm sad. I have moments where I'm down, and that's okay. I'm
Yeah.
not staying there, and I encourage people to never wallow in your sadness. That's not what my mother would want. That's not what I want. And I work my way up as quickly as I can, and I lean on God to help me through those moments. But you reached out to me and just you said you saw the post and you just want to send me some love, and I want to thank you for that. It
Yeah.
means a lot to know that people care, to take a moment not just to engage a post, but to actually reach out. And I'm just so glad to be connected to you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud to know you. And it was a
Thank you.
pleasure having you on the show today, Lily. Thank you
Thank
so
you. Thank you
much.
for having me. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for sticking with us today on another episode of Lucas Live. It was my absolute pleasure being here with you guys. Hope you guys are liking the show. We got McKinley games coming up the next couple nights. So check us out here at 7 p.m., I believe, are the McKinley games here at Lucas Live Media. Such an honor to have the boys and girls varsity basketball games. So make sure you guys are tuning in for those and supporting the community here. We have more shows to come. Lucas Live is back. I have some other shows and some other things that are going to be coming out as well. Thank you guys for please like and follow the page Lucas Live Media. We love you. We thank you for all your love and support. Everybody, I hope you're inspired. Follow our guests from tonight. Make sure you check them out. What's up, Aunt Lane? I see you. How are you? Glad you're here. What's up? What's up? You guys, thank you for your love and support. Make sure you guys follow these people. If you need some of what they have to offer, reach out to them and see how they can help and support you. And if there's anything I can do, just let me know. I'll see you guys next time on another episode of Lucas Live. Everybody have a good night.